Hello my friends, Grim here. It is day 3 of Ladder Season 3, and I have something exciting to show you that I found here in Nightmare. Now, I'm also going to tell you what I'm doing for a character this season and how I got here and all that good stuff, but for once I will not bury the lead. Let's jump right into looking at the item that I'm here to show you. Thanks for hanging out. We got ourselves a 5 Nado Pelt, my friends, and although you may argue that +2 to elemental skills rather than +2 to druid skills does stretch the definition of a 5 Nado Pelt, this is still, for all intents and purposes, something as close to it as you can get, if not literally it. And it's kind of an ironic and serendipitous find on a couple different levels. Number one, it's got the same exact name as the one that I wore for half of last season, Dire Visage. And number two, if you watched any of last season's content, you'll know that I leveled and mained a Wind Druid all the way to level 95, and at no point did I find any pelt, not just a Wind Druid specific pelt, but any Druid pelt at all, that was any near close to as good as this one that I just found in Nightmare. Alright, so let's break it down. We have +2, as mentioned, to elemental skills. Unfortunately, it's not 2 to all druid skills. Elemental, of course, for Windy is by far the most important skill tree. However, for those who avail themselves of summons to either a greater or lesser degree, the +2 to all skills will be missed. Not only because the more points the better for anything you're doing, obviously, but also because of the way the druid summon skill tree works, in that synergies are available from soft points as well as hard points. That's definitely not the norm, but it is how druid summons work. So 2 to elemental and 3 to tornado makes it something quite like a 5 Nado, perhaps an exact 5 Nado depending on your definition, and on top of that, which is amazing, you should let that sink in how good that is, how desirable 5 Nados are, but on top of that, we've got +2 to Hurricane, which after Tornado is the most desirable Windy skill tree to have any extra points into. And this, remember, can be worn at level 30, so early on, more points into all of this stuff, including Hurricane. Definitely very nice. If you plan, of course, to use this long term, you could also up it from, what is it, Falcon Nest to Sky Spirit, I believe, but it's actually, well, arguably better to leave it down here at required level 30 and other low requirements as well. Moving on to the rest of the affixes, we have 14% chance to cast level 5 Charged Bolt when struck. It's actually not bad, but we'd probably prefer maybe some form of crowd control, but honestly, if you're already playing Windy Druid, whatever. 32 attack rating, admittedly a total waste, 59% enhanced defense. Not that impressive, but doesn't hurt, and again, if you did choose to up this, so much the better for that. 3 to light radius is basically just because it is cool, but lightning resist 18. We take that as well, getting some kind of a decent chunk of any resistance on this 5 Nado Pelt with +2 to Hurricane. Obviously found in Nightmare. Very, very nice. Of course, the only thing letting it down is the fact that it is an ugly bird beak. That said, it's a yellow one, probably a little bit less likely to clash than my old green, neon green, like tropical parrot one with whatever you happen to be wearing. So there's my 5 Nado Pelt, guys. I'm really excited about it. Just wanted to show you this is my first time ever playing Ladder from the jump, right? Last season was my first time playing Ladder ever. This time I'm doing it right from the jump. And we're maining Paladin this year. I eventually plan to build into some kind of aura-based endgame Paladin, whether it be Dragon or Dream or Hybrid for both. We're gonna see, but I did Holy Fire, carried me all the way through about Act 3 Nightmare, and then I wasn't really doing anything at all in Act 4 Nightmare. I partied up, got carried through 4 and 5, but still couldn't really progress at all in Act 1 Hell. Couldn't farm most places that are desirable to farm on Nightmare. So I've respec into Zealot, we've got 20 into Sacrifice, 20 into Zeal, 5 into Holy Shield and all of its prereqs, and we are working toward some other things. Concentration, blessed aim, might, fanaticism, of course, maxed out, with the latter ones, or the preceding ones, being its prereqs, and soon we'll work to get a point into this stuff, especially vigor. Will be nice to get 1 point into vigor and all of its prereqs. We don't have anything too exciting to speak of with gear, just random charms we found. I did trade a couple perfect gems for a butcher's pupil, so I had some kind of a respectable zeal weapon, and I did make Bulwark. The 3 highest runes that I have found so far were the exact ones needed to make Bulwark, at least at the time. Since then I found another soul, a few hells, whatever, but Shale, Io, Soul. I found all of them just playing through the game, and I figured that was a sign that we should make Bulwark. And between that sign and finding Blade Buckle and Dark Glow, all of which are beneficial for the tankier, more combat-oriented builds, I figured that I was being told to respec into Zealot, rather than into Blessed Hammer or Fist of Heavens or what have you. Nothing else is very good. We've got an all-res 37 Paladin shield, all-res 12 amulet, plain 30% faster run walk boots, plain 6% life stolen per hit ring, an okay rare ring, some okay gloves, some pretty bad charms, and we've got a frenzy barb with 2 terrible blue swords, a very mediocre rune jack gothic plate for armor, and an ethereal circlet that has 40 fire resist and 19 to life, and +1 to traps. What a mess, but we, as a zealot, are actually doing okay. So let's do a run through the exact place, which has been so good to me over the years. Continuing, over the weeks and months, I suppose, and continuing into this season, the Frigid Highlands and the Bloody Foothills. This is exactly where we found that 5 Nado Pelt. We found it down here off of maybe Shank himself, maybe one of the Shank servitors here. I don't recall exactly, but guess what? Everything that we're doing now, including doable areas like this, is easier after having respect. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into a pretty awesome find. Lasser the Windy Druid, his spirit is still with us long after he has departed this ladder. And I'm telling you, this is the best area to farm in the entire game, because as we speak, as we demonstrate, Eldritch yields yet more bounty for us. We've got Hellmouth. I've got to put a few more points into strength before I can use that, but I would say that that's an amazing find for a zealer. Holy moly. And guess what? We got a few points in the bank. We only need 1 into strength. Let's put them on. Wow, guys. This was so cool. I'm glad I did this. That was also just a really lucky find. So, you know, some people, I guess, have all the luck, and sometimes that's me. Other times I feel like it's anyone else but me. Regardless, I hope you had fun with this quick little video, and I'll be making some more. So if you like this, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, leave a comment letting me know what you're doing with this ladder season, what you found so far, and everything else you'd like to tell me. Take care, guys, and I'll see you soon.